Hi, I'm Annie. I'm a terrible hippie. So, in objective personality system, I was officially typed as an ENFP. So, I have that NF hippie temperament. But I'm a glass lizard. So, I'm also really seem like an IJ. Can be very rigid. Here's how I think of it. Say if you're walking in your neighborhood late at night and it's kind of dim because it's after sunset, but you see a silhouette in the distance and you know that is a raccoon. I think that when people perceive me, even if they're not aware of personality type or cognitive functions in any way, they see the general shape of me and they're like, that's one of those ENFP things. It's just subconscious. That's one of those people that's sort of creative and inventive and a little bit of a court jester, kind of clownish, which I can be, although my play is last. And so that kind of court jester energy is sort of hit or miss. It's not on all the time, but it's the creativity and the inventiveness. And they look at me and they see she's kind of alternative looking. And I have made unconventional choices in my life. Being self-employed, being a massage therapist. I massage people with my feet. I get up on the table and massage people with my feet, which is not something that a whole lot of people do. It's a kind of a strange life choice. And I never knew when I was little that I would massage people with my feet when I grew up. I mean, how could I have known that? And the way that I live, I've been with my partner for almost 13 years, and I have this studio here, and then I sleep and eat with him over at his place, which is next door. It's just like a really unconventional way to live. A lot about me is kind of progressive looking and unconventional. And I think that people assume that I'm a really go with the flow person because of that. So when you think about the stereotypical massage therapist, it's like flowy, kind of like this weird caftan that I'm wearing. Flowy, go with the flow, not really rigid, sort of flighty. I think that people expect that from me. They expect me to be really flexible and kind of go with the flow. And I've seen that a lot in my massage therapy practice. Clients think that it's not a big deal to be on time. It'll all be okay. It'll just work out. And they assume that I'm going to be really accepting of that because they see me from a distance and I think that looks like one of those ENFP things who isn't really rigid about time. But I have this activated masculine SI fourth and I am really rigid about time. So a few weeks ago, I had a client in here and he was telling me how he got his vaccination. And I said, oh yeah, I got mine a long time ago because massage therapists were eligible to get them pretty early on in the beginning of the year. And so I went ahead and did that. And he was really surprised. He said, oh, I would have thought that you wouldn't get the vaccine. It was just an assumption that he made about me because I don't know, maybe I'm so alternative or progressive that I would be against that. Or maybe it's he sees me as an EP sort of maybe it's a don't control me bro kind of thing. And I would reject being controlled in that way. It was just something he absolutely assumed about me, that I wouldn't be into getting vaccinated and I wouldn't have done it. Another thing that I feel like people assume about me is that I would be really comfortable at Burning Man. And I really wouldn't. I think that is one coin you can use when you're looking at people. Would this person be really comfortable at Burning Man or rather just stay home? And I really wouldn't. I mean, it's loud. I think I understand that they have quiet areas. So there are quiet areas for people to go when they need less stimulation. But it's just the people and just too many people, too many free spirits. I don't think I could handle it. And also the sort of barter culture that's really popular with Burning Man. Trade for everything, barter for everything, which I think is a beautiful idea. And I really admire people that are into that culture, but I just don't feel comfortable with it. I hate bartering. And I think it's because of my feminine TE that I need the boundaries to be ST clear written down because I'm not very direct or assertive about my own boundaries. I'm not very good about, flexing and saying I need this or no, your offer is not acceptable to me. Would you, also throw in this other thing? It's just this weird, weak unassertiveness that I have with not wanting to be masculine with my TE. Trading massages with other massage therapists is one example of that. I don't trade with other massage therapists. I will gladly pay them this week and then they can pay me back next week when they come get a massage from me. Because what I've noticed with those trading relationships, because I've tried it a few times, is that people just don't perceive it the same way. They just are more flakier. They don't take it as seriously when there's not money being involved. I don't want this to be true. This is just what I've observed. So when I say I will, give you a massage in trade at 2:00 next Wednesday, I'm going to be there and I'm going to give you as good of a massage as I would if you were paying me. I'm going to bring that energy. But I don't see that reciprocity from other people. If it's a trading sort of scenario, they don't take it as seriously and they're more likely to cancel at the last minute, or their energy just isn't the same. I just would rather have it very ST clear. Like, I will give you $105 this week if you give me a 90-minute massage, and then next week I will give you a 90-minute massage and you can give me the $105 back. It's just clear, it's simple, there's no negotiation, and I think that makes me a bad hippie, that I don't like the barter. My worst nightmare would be to be in another country where haggling is expected. I just don't know how to do that. If I was in another country and I saw like a beautiful scarf that I wanted and they said like it's 20 whatever their coin is, I would be like, okay, here's the money. I would give them 20 coins. And then that would maybe be incorrect or offensive because they would be expecting me to haggle. But like, I just don't know how to do that. Like, nobody ever taught me how to do that. Another example, I really love ecstatic dance. I haven't been in many years. They're probably not meeting during the pandemic, but they used to. So it's great because the DJs are really amazing. So we go to this big hall that has really nice wooden dance floor, great floor to dance on. There's a whole bunch of freaky people dancing and moving in any way that feels good to them. And I love that. I want to just feel the music and move around, and I love how good the DJs are. It's just like a wonderful free feeling. But I stopped going because so many people in that group are into partner dancing and collaborating, and I'm just not into it. But it seems like half the people that go there are into that, and they want to meet there to do this kind of partner dancing with each other and try out different partners. There's so many reasons I don't like partner dancing. I think a major thing is the really low play energy, that I'm just not good at reading someone else and responding in the moment and sort of riffing and improving in that way. I am good at improving in dance on my own, like not working with another person, just me communicating with the music. I think play energy is a huge, huge part of why I don't like it. The other thing is like I'm 5 feet tall. So like unless I'm dancing with another chick, it's like kind of difficult. And it's just always men that want to dance with me, and they're always like 7 feet tall. And it's like, how? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, this is not only improv in the moment and collaboration, but it's also like this weird complicated thing because you're like a skyscraper. Like, this is advanced level shit. I don't know how to do this. And I feel like I constantly have to say no. And on the dance floor, you're not talking, really. You're not supposed to like get into conversations because it's about the vibe and the music. And so what I've seen people doing is this kind of sign language where they go like this, like, no, I don't want to dance. What I found was that when I go to these meetings, I'm doing this over and over again. Like, all I'm doing the whole time is telling people I don't want to dance with them. And so it's hard for me to get lost in that moment and just dance. And I feel like it makes me a bad hippie because these other people are so like collaborative and go with the flow and like, let's share and, be a tribe and rub all over each other and do this. They do this kind of contact improv where they're sort of touching and tumbling and dancing together, which is really beautiful for them. I'm just not into it. I don't want to do it. And so this thing that I really love and I'm really kind of excited about, going to this place with a really great dance floor, I just don't do it. I just dance on my own in my own home. I wish there was some other way. Like, if I didn't have to like do this all the time, if I could just wear a shirt that says I would like to dance alone, that would be like more comfortable for me because then people wouldn't approach me. So if you listen to me, I am NF. I am bringing up a lot of NF subjects subjects and talking really kind of deep and philosophical about the nature of reality. And I can get into some kind of woo-woo sort of stuff. And that's very NF. But I think when it comes to the traditional stereotype of a hippie, like very tribe involved, I'm just not a good hippie in that way. I'm a terrible hippie. And even Dave said it when he was trying to type me, that it's just really trippy. Like, this girl is so IJ. She's so rigid, seems very OI, but like, I'm looking at her like she's an ENFP, you know, it's a contradiction. And I think that's one of the ways that Dave and Chan are able to spot glass lizards, is like they're seeing some kind of contradiction. You know, looks like an ENFP, but smells like a skunk or something like that, you know. Looks like one thing, but smells a little funny. Anyway, I'm a terrible hippie. And it does cause problems because I think on first glance, people perceive me a certain way. They expect me to be more like a hippie, more hippie-ish than I am. And I think it really comes down to the play last, and that's really the point of friction, that they're expecting me to be more playful and have more play energy because most ENFPs do, and I don't. Anyway, that's all for now. I will talk to you next week.